All right, guys, tonight is the big night we've all been waiting for. All of you fans of martial arts out there and the Japanese culture, tonight is the night. This is early morning. It's Tuesday, February 27th, 2024. We are awaiting the series Shogun on Hulu, I think. I don't have Hulu, but I actually subscribed just to get this series, and then I'll probably get rid of it again. I haven't had cable in many years. We are excited. Now, if you're an old guy like me, you can remember whenever you hear this theme, you know that Shogun was on. Back in 1980, most of you probably weren't even born then. I was 10. And when this first Shogun came on, there were millions and millions of us around the country that watched this series. I was glued. I was hooked as a kid. This is what got me involved in martial arts. Even though I knew about like David Carradine and Kung Fu in the 1970s, this was the series that everyone in America was talking about the next day. It went on for several hours. I think it was 9 hours long. It was an incredible dramatic miniseries. Yes, there were faults with it, but it holds a special place in my heart because I was 10 and I had never seen anything outside of America, and I was so pulled into the Japanese culture. It was filmed in Japan. It had some of the best acting in the world at that particular time. It had a lot of issues with it, but as a kid again, you are drawn in to just the mood of it, the culture of it, the samurai, the ninja, the political intrigue, the writing, the script was really good. Now, of course, it's based off of James Clavell's Shogun, which I did not read that book, but obviously the book is always going to supersede anything on film, almost always. So I want to read you the synopsis of what I experienced back then. Shogun is an American historical drama televised limited series based on the 1975 novel of the same name by James Clavell. The novel was previously adapted in the 1980 television miniseries. The series is set to premiere with its first 2 episodes tonight, February 27th, on Hulu and FX, with new episodes of the 10-episode series releasing every week. So we're going to get this for the next couple months. I think it's so much smarter to do that. When you binge watch, when they release something all at once, the ratings just do this. But when you spread it out among several weeks and months, it keeps the audience talking about it. It's much more impactful and successful, in my opinion, when you release it 1 episode at a time. Shogun follows the collision of 2 ambitious men from different worlds and a mysterious female samurai, John Blackthorne, a risk-taking English sailor who ends up shipwrecked in Japan, a land whose unfamiliar culture will ultimately redefine him. Lord Toranaga, a shrewd but powerful daimyo, at odds with his own dangerous political rivals. And Lady Mariko, a woman whose invaluable skills but dishonorable family ties must prove her value and allegiance. Clavell's Shogun is a fictionalized version of real events and history. The character of Blackthorne is loosely based on the historical English navigator William Adams, who in Japan rose to become a samurai under the strongest powerful daimyo and later the founder and first shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate of Japan, Tokugawa Ieyasu, whose life and reign lasted from 1543 to 1616, and whom Shogun's character Yoshi Toranaga is based. Let's go into the old cast. This is the cast that when I was a kid were my heroes, my role models. Didn't know anything about them. I was 10, just a dumb little kid, glued with his eyes fixed to all this cool stuff I was seeing. Richard Chamberlain was Pilot Major Blackthorne, Anjin-san. Richard Chamberlain did a great job with this film. My teacher, Mr. Hayes, was also in Shogun in a brief scene, and he did some of the stunt work, but he was on the shipwreck, on the ship when it's crashing, on the very first couple scenes. Mr. Hayes is in that as well. But Richard Chamberlain brought kind of I don't know, he was really good in that role. Great actor. As we know, he's done a million other television things like The Thornbirds and other movies. He's quite old now, still alive. I know he's going to be watching tonight. He did such a good job. He was the guy that we wanted to be, the guy that was stuck in Japan. And you really felt compassion for him when things happened, which you'll see maybe tonight in this new series. My gosh, Toshiro Mifune as Toranaga, Lord of the Kwanto. No one is ever going to touch Mifune ever as Toranaga. And I'm sure the new guy playing Toranaga is all in salutation to Toranaga. Mifune was the Clint Eastwood. He was the man. He was the best samurai actor in all those films. So to try to play Mifune as Toranaga, he has a tall order to fill. I hope he does a good job. Yoko Shimada, Lady Toda Buntaro, Mariko. She was such a strong female character back in 1980. Every man had a crush on her. I wanted to find someone like her all my life. We never did, of course. Mariko, so strong, so powerful, so gentle, so beautiful, interpreting things. She had so much power in the background. Now, I hope they don't ruin that character and try to make her beating up guys left and right. She was not like that. She was very gentle, but one of the most powerful and inspiring characters in the entire series. I can't wait to see how they portray Mariko tonight. Frankie Sakai, Kashigiyabu, the daimyo of Izu. His seppuku scene at the end of the series was fantastic. Frankie Sakai, I thought, was one of the characters you could actually laugh out loud. He was powerful. He would move around and manipulate things. I loved Frankie Sakai. He was actually a comedian in Japan for many years. Also starring Alan Badell as Father Delacroix, the scheming evil priest. What a great British actor he was. Michael Hordern playing Friar Domingo. You might remember he played Gandalf in the BBC radio play, the compassionate poor guy that Blackthorn meets in prison who teaches him about the language. Damian Thomas, remember Father Martin Alvito in the old series? Never sure if he's good or evil. What a good actor he was. John Rhys Davies, as you know, who played Gimli in The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I don't know if he was in The Hobbit. As Vasco Rodriguez, the over-the-top pirate who was kind of secretly jealous of Blackthorn. He was really good. Vladek, excuse me, I don't know the pronunciation. Vladek Shaybal as Captain Ferrara, the crazy bug-eyed actor who gave a new definition to the word greed back then. Hideo Takamatsu, oh my gosh, he was so good in that role as Lord Buntaro. No one was more stoic and Bushido-like. He was the master of the Yumi bow. When Blackthorn fell in love with Mariko, Buntaro was viciously jealous and wanted to kill him so badly. I don't know how they're going to do Takamatsu tonight, but we'll see, we'll see. And Nobuo Kaneko as Ishido Kazunari, the ruler of Osaka Castle, the round-faced actor back then who wanted both Toranaga and Blackthorn dead. There's a lot of political stuff hopefully we'll see in this series tonight. So the old series I loved. A lot of people didn't like it. It had stereotypes in it. I realized that, but as a kid you didn't know. It was what it was for the time in 1980. We've come a long way since then, but every time I watch that, I get new insights into it. I appreciate it even more, and it's just nostalgic for me because, and many of you out there, because it's just the first exposure we had to the samurai. So it always is going to hold a place in my heart. I am going to be very skeptical tonight. I don't think it'll ever match what I can feel in my heart for the first series, but I'm totally open-minded and super excited. So tonight, let's get into the modern one for you young people out there. Here's the synopsis again for tonight's miniseries. When a mysterious European ship is found marooned in a nearby fishing village, Lord Yoshi Toranaga discovers secrets that could tip the scales of power and devastate his enemies. That's the premise. We're going to be pushed into this unknown territory, and hopefully it can take us on a journey of the mind. The new actors, we have Hiroyuki Sanada, as you know, is playing Yoshi Toranaga. Now, he was very familiar to most of you out there. He was in The Last Samurai. He was in Wolverine. He was in John Wick. He was in Bullet Train, The Avengers, Mr. Holmes. He's a very well-known actor. Cosmo Jarvis, who's playing Blackthorn, who is played by Chamberlain. He was in Peaky Blinders. Other than that, I don't know who he is. I hope he does a good job. You have a heck of a job to try to match Richard Chamberlain. So good luck, Cosmo. We hope you do well representing Blackthorn. Anna Sawai as Mariko. I don't know Anna's work. I researched she was in Monarch, the Monster series. I know that just came out. She was a ninja assassin. Probably the worst ninja movie I've ever seen, but she played in that somewhere. Anna Sawai as Mariko. I hope they do her justice and make her the character that she deserves to be. Tadanobu Asano, I know from a long time ago. He's been around forever. He's playing Kashigi Yabushigi. He was in Zatoichi. He was in Thor Ragnarok. He was in 47 Ronin. He played in Ichi the Killer. So he's been around forever. I've seen him a lot. He's a really good actor. He'll probably do a great job as the really angry Kashigi Yabu. Now, this series was filmed entirely in Canada. I didn't know that. The old series, obviously, they went to Japan and filmed and built the sets there. So that's a negative for me. I hope that they do a good job with the sets. Obviously, nowadays, sadly, so much is CGI and it looks bad, but I'm hoping from the preview I watched, it looks really good. The sets look good. The costumes look fantastic. So I think they're really going to do a good job at trying to give the period piece. As far as I know, from what little I saw, the swords, the uniforms, the costumes looked authentic. I didn't see anything that stuck out as ridiculous. Who knows how the fight scenes will go? You and I will have to talk about that later. But filmed in Canada, because it's cheap, probably very few taxes. The whole part of going to Japan back in 1980 was it was fun to watch actual Japanese people doing things and how they constructed everything on the beaches, and a hurricane hit and wiped out most of it. So will it be more like the book than the original? I don't know. Again, I didn't read the book. I didn't read Taipei by Clavel. Clavel has a series of, I think, 3 books on Asian culture, which is I've heard, fantastic. We'll see tonight. I'm excited. Are you? So tonight, we're going to leave here training at 8. I'm going to get home and watch the series, at least the first part, and hopefully we'll discuss this again. Comment below if you are excited about tonight. Let me know below if you saw the old version of Shogun and what you thought of that, and maybe we'll build a little discussion. I can't wait, you guys. This is going to be really cool. This video is going out today, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have fun watching Shogun tonight. Have a great day. Bye-bye.